Bro, I swear to fucking God, nobody ever listens to me. And every time that happens, every time somebody listens to me, their life gets better. Every time somebody doesn't listen to me, their life gets worse. It's almost like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So let me tell you about my dad, right? Let me tell you about this dude. My dad has this recurring theme where I swear to God he does the exact opposite of what I say, almost as if to spite me. Just the maximum boomerism. Just, oh, you're a whippersnapper. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, all right, we'll find out. We'll find out the hard way, I guess. Okay, we're going down this road. So, for example, right, um, when I was when I was homeless, right, I was homeless. I told my dad, hey, it's about to freeze. It's gonna suck for a while. Um, do not traverse 300 miles away from home to go get on a frozen roof. Okay, you're gonna fall, break your shit. You're probably maybe fucking die. It's a terrible idea. And this motherfucker hit me with the, oh well, I'm a real man. I'm a real boy. And so he does the exact fucking opposite of what I say. Let me know if you heard that one before. Um, so a couple weeks later, he calls me up. He's like, oh, son, my wife, she doesn't have gas money to come to drive 5 miles away from my house to come because he like drove back after falling off the roof and breaking his leg, exactly like what I said would happen. And by the way, he just abandoned. He had to leave like $10,000 worth of tools at the job site and he never went back. I'm sure it's gone. I'm sure it's all gone. Anyway, he calls me up. He's like, "Oh, I need a ride. I need a ride." Oh. And I'm like, I'm homeless. I'm 45 miles away. So you might be thinking, oh, well, I should go tell this guy to go fuck himself, right? Well, unfortunately, I'm a bit of a fucking softie, right? So I get in my piece of shit Crown Vic with a the front driver's the front passenger side tire is so worn down that it has a piece of wire sticking out, and I drive off into the fucking frozen tundra because that's just who I am. I'm cursed with being a non piece of shit, unfortunately. So I go and by the way, his wife had the fucking his wife did have gas money. The reason, like, she was willing to let my dad die in the freezing cold because she didn't want to go out into the cold and it was just uncomfortable. She didn't want to. I'm like, yeah, you could have, even if your gas tank's on E, you can make it 10 miles. You can go from the house, go scoop this nigger up, and then get back. Like, you can do that, okay? The car will make it. And I know my dad didn't leave your stupid ass at home with, like, no money. I know that didn't happen, okay? That's just not something that would happen. Anyway, so I drive 45 minutes with, I'm spending the last $20 to my name going and saving this retard from himself, from the actions of his own, from the consequences. I'm saving this retard from the consequences of his own actions, right? Because that's just who I am. I'm too fucking kind, too fucking nice for my own good, and it always bites me in the ass every fucking time. And so I get there and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, okay, cool, let's get you in the car." He's like limping and shit because he slid off a roof, right? And and we get the dog and we get everybody, of course, and you're like, "Oh man, why is he?" I'm sorry, I skipped over that. ADHD like a motherfucker. So you're like, "Oh, why was he broken down 5 miles away, 5 minutes from his house?" Well, very simple. The transmission blew on his truck because of course it did, right? Of course it fucking did. And I'll tell you another story about that. Just the absolute retard tweakerisms of that shit. But anyway, on the way home, and bear in mind, it's like 2 in the morning, right? Nothing's open. On the way home, my dad starts fucking drunkenly trying to guilt trip me into buying him beer. Remember, I'm spending my last $20. I'm homeless. I'm homeless, and I'm transporting my dad to the house that I'm not allowed to be in, despite him having 2 vacant rooms that exist only to collect dust, right? I'm just not allowed to be there because fuck me, right? Because lazy millennial, fuck me, right? It's a miracle. I'm running my own welding business, but fuck me, I'm lazy. It's crazy how powerful the fucking Fox News is. So anyway, this dude, he starts guilt tripping me on the, like, it's 2 a.m. He's like, oh, a real son, if you were a real cool son, like, you can't, you're such a piece of shit. You can't even buy your dad a beer on the way home. A real son would buy his dad some beer on the way home. My beer. I'm just, oh my god. Bro, I'm sitting here half contemplating, like, just kicking this retard out of my oh, you want a fucking beer? Cool. Let's stop and get you a beer, and just fucking leaving his ass. Like, oh, okay, yeah, enjoy the fucking Arctic tundra, you piece of shit. But I don't do that because I have this, my need for tribalism and protecting my fucking people is just, it's too powerful. It's being weaponized against me. And, so yeah, and we finally get to his house that, remember, I'm homeless. I'm not allowed to be here. I've been homeless for a year. My dad has never once offered me a fucking place to stay. No matter how hot it got outside, no matter how Arctic tundra it got outside. No, just go fucking die, son. Fuck you. And but I'm too fucking, I don't know. A part of me regrets it, but the other part of me is like, man, I don't know if I could actually live if I just let a fucker die like that, But anyway, but his wife was ready to let him die just because she didn't want to walk outside. It was fucking like 20 degrees out. And yeah, so we get home, right? We get to his home. And he starts bitching to his wife about, oh, my piece of shit son, he wouldn't even buy his dad a beer. At that point, I was ignoring him the whole way. I brushed it off as drunken bullshit. And I wasn't trying to fight with the dude, like, while the car's sliding sideways, right? That's just not good. But I went off on him. I was like, listen here, you are fucking guilt tripping your homeless son. And I guess after spurting out on him and just like I was ready to fight this dude. I'm like, I'm about to knock your bitch ass out. And I guess like once I got angry enough, like that's like, oh, I'm sorry, son. I'm a golly. I got, for the first time ever, I got an apology. And, anyway, so, following that, like, few months later, he was also, like, trying to sell the house for crack. He didn't say it was for crack, but it was implied it was for crack. So, this motherfucker had, like, a shop the size of the house. Or, sorry, the shop half the size of the house. Just big ass shop, right? So he basically, if you put sheetrock on there, you had 2 houses on that 3-acre property. This motherfucker had easily $500,000 worth of property. But he did that boomer thing where he's like, I want cash. And so he spent way too fucking long, and he kept lowering the price on the fucking house. And I even offered, I was like, hey, Dad, I'll give you $2,000 down, and then I'll just give you like $1,000 a month for the next however fucking long it takes to pay this shit off, right? You're like, no, I want cash. And so he eventually finds some fucking I don't know who the fuck it was, because like nobody ever actually moved in there. So it had to have been like some investment firm or something. Just cut this absolute fucking retard a check for $120,000, and he gave his wife half the money, and he took the other half, and like they went separate ways and shit. And you're like, oh well, gee willikers, what did fucking God Emperor Cletus fucking spend his fucking 60K on? Well, it was initially within the first week he blew $15,000 on cuck sheds. Right? He bought a fucking 5x10 like microscopic box. Like the trailer was so small it was on a single axle. He bought a fucking cube. And then he literally woke up the next day. He paid 15,000, or sorry, he paid he paid 15,000 for that. And he literally woke up the next day and walked outside because he's still living in the house that he sold. He has a time frame to get the fuck out. He literally walks outside, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "Oh wow, that was stupid." And I'm like, "Yeah, no shit. I could have told you that. I told you that. I told your bitch ass." And then like a week later, he buys a Winnebago for like 10,000. So officially, like 25,000 out of the 60 is just immediately wasted on cuck sheds. Just I'm gonna buy a fucking RV and a camper and oh man, oh gee golly, oh son, you're not gonna believe what happened. Oh man, the Winnebago is smaller and less comfortable than my big ass house on 3 acres of land. Like, yes, no shit. I could have told you that. I did tell you that. God forbid anyone fucking listen to me. It's like, oh man, this, you're making a whole lot of sense there, but like, I'm gonna do the opposite because fuck you. And yeah, so anyway, so on to more boomer adventures. Now that he's got his fucking Winnebago poor fag cuck shed bullshit going on, and I saw some pictures on his phone. Apparently, he also went to Mount Rushmore because every boomer has to do that. And so then he goes into the fucking RV park that back in 2009 he was, according to the lore, according to the stories he told me, he goes back to the RV park that he was paying $50 a month to stay at in like 2008, 2009, right? And now he's paying $600, and he's like, oh, he calls me up, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get with that landlord, $600 is way too much. I'm gonna give him a stern talk. It's like a Thursday, right? He's saying this on a Thursday, and I give him the explanation. I'm like, well, Dad, look, you're not the head nigger in charge no more, right? You're a fucking welcome to adulthood, as you've told me when I complained about this shit. When I complained about the fucking $2,000 a month to fucking rent an apartment, right? When I complained about this, you said, oh, welcome to adulthood, son, a firm handshake, bootstraps, etc., etc. And now that it's his turn, now that he's a fucking rent slave to the fucking boomerocracy, suddenly it's not adulting no more. Suddenly it's suddenly it's a fucking problem now that it affects him, right? And so he calls me up and he's like, oh, I'm gonna give that fucker a stern talking to. I'm just such an awesome, badass, like super cool dude that he's gonna lower the price by at least $100. He's gonna listen to me. And when that obviously didn't fucking happen, like we're talking like he's telling me this on a Thursday, and then on Saturday, this motherfucker, he walked in there with his firm handshake and his fucking like stern talking to bullshit, and his like I'm such an awesome dude, and the fucking world reality bends itself to my will because I thusly command it. When obviously that didn't fucking work, and exactly what I said happened and exactly what I said would happen happened. And reality did not terramorph itself to his will. He pulled a fucking gun on his landlord, and then like when the obvious happened, like He's like, oh, I'm gonna pull a gun on my landlord, and he's gonna lower the price on my rent. And when that obviously didn't fucking happen, this guy was crying victim. He's like, oh, that piece of shit, I can't believe he evicted me. Oh, he evicted me and had my truck towed. Oh, the tow nigger cometh. The tow nigger cometh. Yeah, it is like, oh, it's like, bro, you're lucky you're not dead or in prison. The fuck were you thinking? You pulled a gun on your landlord. Like, trust me, I get it. I understand. I sympathize with that fucking desire. I get it. The problem is we live in the real fucking world and you cannot do that. But his boomer brain just could not fathom any version of reality where the fucking universe didn't bend to his will. He just couldn't picture that. It was unthinkable that reality would not modify itself to accommodate him. And anyway, he ended up losing all of his fucking money, and I told this dude, I'm like, Dad, look, you're not going to be able to get a new house. Like, if you sell this one, you're not getting another one. Okay, like, this dude is pushing 50, and he's never paid taxes because he worked in he had a construction business where he like never paid taxes, and he also doesn't have a bank account. Like, he pays for all of his online shit with prepaid Visa cards, and just holds on to like cash. And it's like, bro, you have we have like credit checks and like income checks for buying real estate now. You can't just do that, because he was talking to me about like, oh yeah, just fabricate a fake pay stub and hand it to the landlord. That's how you get an apartment. And it's like, yeah, that worked in the fucking 90s. You can't do that no more. They have online everything. They check your fucking credit history. They check your income history. And yeah, you can't do that. You can't just fucking trust me, bro, your way into wealth anymore. You have to be a wage slave. You got to work at fucking Goy Donald's for, however. Damn it, I fucking shit. I hit the button, my bad. You got to work at fucking Goy Donald's for fucking however long. Like, it's like it doesn't even get reported unless you're there for like at least a year. Like, oh, you have to have a job for at least 2 years. I think that's what it is for the FHA shit. You have to have a steady income. Translation: you got to be a wage slave. You got to work at Goy Donald's for 2 years before you're even like bare minimum qualified. Okay, now you've met the holding a job for 2 years thing. You've met that requirement. Oh shit, but Goy Donald's doesn't pay enough to meet the income requirement. So now you got to go work for 2 years at fucking Wagey Marts because that meets the income requirement. And so now you're there for 2 years. You're at Wagey Mart for 2 years. And it's like, oh shit, well the price of housing increased and Wagey Mart doesn't fucking pay anything. So now you got to go. Now you got to work at some higher paying job because the fucking income requirement has increased. So now you got to go do that for 2 years, and it's this constant fucking rat race of like working at any job for 2 years with the hopes that by the time that 2 year mark is crossed, now you qualify. And your credit, just pray your credit's not shit, or don't be like me. Like I listened to my fucking boomer dad's advice. I was like, I didn't start building my credit until I was 26. I'm 30. I didn't start building my credit till I was 26 because I don't need credit. I'm financially responsible. What do I need credit for? And yeah, that fucked me in the ass. So. But like, yeah, it's just like now. Oh, congratulations! And then by the way, now that he's like he went to rehab and he's like coming back up. He put the fucking Adderall down, and now that he's coming back up, he's still like boomerang. He called me up. He's like, oh yeah, I got this company that's gonna like they're gonna hire me at $60 an hour, and all I have to do is like point my finger and yell at people. And I'm just like, bro, nobody's gonna pay 60 an hour for that. Like, people will do that for free. Nobody's gonna pay 60 an hour for that. Or you know what? Maybe the boomer plot armor will prevail, and he actually gets 60 an hour to. He went back to Pasadena, by the way. And so now he's in the fucking ghetto of Texas. He's in the fucking he's in the slums of Texas, right? He's in the one of the poorest areas in Texas. Like, basically, he went back to the fucking loading zone. He went back to the starting point. He went back to the level 1. And he's like, oh, in this crack town where like there's no money, somebody is gonna pay me 60 an hour to be a boomer, to supervise. And I'm just like, look, man, if it works out, it works out. I'm not holding my breath. I'm actually out here providing value. I'm welding, I'm a fucking mechanic, I'm actually fixing shit, and I only make 30 an hour. I say only, it's actually pretty good. But yeah, you're not getting 60 just to bitch, just to bark orders. Like, I don't see that happening. But you know what? Crazier things have happened. Stock market people sit at computers all day and click shit, and they make a lot more money than I do. So anything's technically possible. And like I bitched about before, the scammer who scammed people out of money just made more money as a pretending to be a welder than I did actually welding. So, maybe that's where we're at. Maybe we do live in the ball inversion world where everything that you would think it makes rational sense, everything that should happen doesn't happen, and everything that doesn't happen should happen, right? Maybe that's the world we actually live in, and I'm just coping. I don't fucking know. Anyway, this rant has gone on way too fucking long. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll try to limit my excessive yelling, if that's what you guys listen to, but I don't fucking know. Anyway, peace out. I'm done.